Sporting action now. England manager Gareth Southgate is trying to manage expectations ahead of his team's quarter-final game against Sweden this afternoon. While Barber in London has more on how fans feel about what might be the Three Lions' best chance of World Cup victory in decades. Let's find out.
England fans are still in a state of happy shock after the Three Lions triumphed in that nail-bitingly tense 4-3 penalty shootout to beat Colombia in the knockout round. The game against Sweden in Samara is England's first quarter-final since 2006. Now, manager Gareth Southgate says that their opponents are older and more experienced, but that England must take advantage of this unique opportunity. Anticipation is building.
There's a good chance. 2018 World Cup, very unpredictable, so you never know. You never know. We might break the curse for the semi-finals as well. We might go finals, you never know. So yeah, fingers crossed.
How are you feeling?
Excited, apprehensive, nervous, sick, all the above. Yeah.
What do you think is going to happen?
If you'd asked me before the World Cup, can we beat Sweden? I would have said yes, easy. It's been a really crazy World Cup and I don't think anyone could beat anyone, so you ask me how I'm feeling, the more and more I think about it, the more nervous I get.
The last time they played, there was no beer. Literally, my small supermarket ran out of beer. So it's a big thing. It's a pride of a country. So yeah, it's a big deal. It's not just a game.
The team, including captain and top goalscorer Harry Kane, are said to be fighting fit, and England are the bookmakers' favourite to win against Sweden. If they do, it'll be on to the semi-finals for the first time since 1990, and they'll play Croatia or hosts Russia on Wednesday. Well, the sun is still shining here in the UK and the beer is flowing, and people are hoping that this summer of World Cup surprise and success can continue for as long as possible. Barber, SABC News in London.
All right, well, let's get more on that Sweden versus England clash. Let's welcome our correspondent Dan Ashby, who's out in central Moscow. Dan, a very good afternoon to you. I suppose this is a very, very big one. Let me just give you the stats that I just picked up now. This is, in fact, England's first quarter-final since 2006. And we know that the Swedish team is a very emotional one. They go and leave their hearts out on the pitch. So I'm very conflicted as to who might be taking it today. What are your thoughts?
Yes, I mean, a historic opportunity for England. As you say, so many different statistics of years of hurt, 52, 28, depends what you want to choose. But that penalty shootout against Colombia was the first ever time that England have won a penalty shootout. And there's a feverish feeling amongst England fans. Maybe it's okay this time to start believing. As you say, England are the bookies' favourites going in against the Swedish team. But this is a team that has frustrated England time and time again. They have often drawn games and sometimes been knocked out, so no one's taking this one for granted. In terms of the lineup, England will go to that favourite first team, of course, Harry Kane up front, backed up by Sterling, Lingard, Dele Alli in midfield with Henderson as the pivot, so no shocks in terms of the lineup. But let's be honest, England in a knockout stage, it's never going to be straightforward and easy. It's going to be dramatic. England fans are going to have that gut-wrenching feeling of dread that comes with any England game. But here in Moscow, there is an electric feeling because it's not just England-Sweden tonight, it's also Russia-Croatia. Bars are going to be packed out, and if it's anything like when Russia beat Spain, there will be scenes like we've never seen before on Moscow streets. Their presidential spokesman said that when Russia beat Spain, it was like the end of World War II. So what an afternoon and evening we have ahead of us.
Absolutely indeed. Look, let's look at the England. I mean, they have pretty much struggled in the midfield during this World Cup. Any particular changes that you've noted, particularly for this afternoon's game?
No, as I say, I think England's going with their normal team, the first lineup that we expected. I think This game is going to come down to England most likely having more of possession. Sweden will hold off the ball. They're a very difficult team to break down. They'll go for 1 or 2 goals at least. You're not going to see the all-out attack that England-Colombia should have heralded. And England will be taking the game to Sweden. The question is, does this England team really have the wherewithal to break down a team like Sweden? Because, of course, a lot of England fans realise that England have got a bit lucky. A lot of their goals have come from penalties. They're also fantastic at set pieces, but still not enough goals coming from open play. So the question is, Sweden is a much more organised team than Colombia. They don't, of course, have the famous Zlatan with them, so that'll be something that will be making English fans feel a lot better. But still, this is going to be all about the big test for England. Are they now good enough to break a team like Sweden?
Absolutely. All right, then I suppose it's all systems go for the match later on, but do describe the atmosphere. How is the fan parks doing? How is the support on the ground? Who is it? Does it sound like England or Sweden is going to take this one later on this afternoon?
Well, that is a difficult one because, of course, the question is which way will Russia's fans support? Now, I have to say, at the moment, Russian fans are pretty ambivalent about this game. The focus is so much on the later game. But what with England or British and Russian relations being at an all-time low since the end of the Cold War, with diplomats from both countries being expelled, I think you can expect Russian fans to be supporting Sweden. That being said, the Russians that I know quite fancy an England-Russia semi-final. So there's that little devil inside of them that's thinking, well, if England get through, what a game we will have. Because I think the Russian fans would like nothing more to beat England in a semi-final. That being said, I think there's a lot of English expats in Moscow. They will, of course, be supporting England. A lot more English fans than expected have gone to the game. So there should be a more decent English support in the stadium than we've seen against, say, Colombia. But the thing with this World Cup, it's always hard to predict because you have so many fans from all over the world, particularly South America, and it's the team they choose to support. All
right, Dan, thank you so much. We're going to leave it there. We're going to try and get hold of you sooner, or of course, when that match is about to start. That is Dan Ashby. He is joining us in central Moscow. And of course, all eyes are set upon that Sweden versus England game. Who is it going to be? Keep your eyes here. We're going to give you all the scores. Let's take a quick look now at your weather details.